Meryl becomes unbelievably strong using this build. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the video for Tower Fantasy. My name is Ventus. What's good with you? Alright, guys, listen, this is another solo joint op build that turns Meryl into an absolute powerhouse using the new banner character Ling Han and, of course, Fiona. Now, my Meryl is at 2-star advancement currently. It's one of the gold banner weapons and one of my favorite Frost units in the game just because of the animations, the way that the sword looks, the way it feels in my character's hands when I'm using. I just absolutely love Meryl, and it can do serious damage when used properly like a DPS weapon. So right now you see the screen, I am using a balance build, and I'm going to show you exactly how I have this build put together. Let's get right into it. But first, really quickly though, if you are new here, please sub to this channel with all notifications turned on, and after this video is over, if you enjoyed it, head on over to my channel and check out some of the 1,000 videos that I've made so far on Tower Fantasy. I've got gameplay, I've got guides, I got tutorials, I have everything that you need for Tower Fantasy over on my channel. Just go and check it out. And also, with those notifications, they can be kind of jank, so follow me on all my socials. I am VSGN Social on TikTok, Instagram, and the Twitter. Alright, so first let's take a look at my weapon chips on Meryl. Over on Meryl, we have a standard DPS set. We've got 2-piece Shiro, 2-piece Samir. 2-piece Shiro says increase both damage and shatter to targets with more than 50% HP by 19% for me because I have at least 1-star advancement. And then 2-piece Shiro, increase damage progressively by 1% upon hitting a target stack up to 10 times, lasts for 1.5 seconds. Over on my Ling Han, we have a 2-piece Samir and a 2-piece Crow. The 2-piece Crow says increase crit damage to targets with less than 60% HP by 24%. And then over on my Fiona, we have a 2-piece Zero. Upon using a discharge to switch to the current weapon, gain a shield equal to 150% of attack for 6 seconds. And then 2-piece Shiro, the increase both damage and shadow targets more than 50% HP by 19%. The skills that I'm going to be using on Fiona for this, when Fiona is on screen, I have Torrential Force, and then off screen, we have Aqua Shackles. And then what has now become my most favorite relic set is going to be Alternate Destiny and Kuant Shield Alternate Destiny. When you pop it, I have mine at A2 advancement, which basically means I get a little bit of lifesteal, and you pretty much can't die while you're in the Alternate Destiny. And then my Kuant Shield, it basically just gives me a shield that when it breaks, it reflects a little bit of damage back at my attacker, but I love it because it does give me a little bit of extra protection. Alright, this solo joint op that I'm doing is one that is completely new to me. It's called Pursuit of Fate. It has some really tanky enemies in the beginning that are kind of fun to fight. They can't kill you, of course, but they are a little bit more difficult to defeat, so it's so much fun fighting them with Meryl because it's just a giant sword fighting some shielded enemies, and then you have Ling Han to boost your damage, and then you can just destroy them. Just a really fun fight. In the middle of this, though, you gotta drive a truck and get some energy. The truck is really wobbly, though, but it was kind of fun. I really enjoyed it for a joint operation. Now, as far as this enemy that you fight, whatever this thing is, he moves around a lot. So if you haven't faced him yet, you haven't done this joint operation yet, this is my literal first time doing it. It took me 3 tries to do it. The first time I did it, I was just brand new and I didn't know what exactly to expect. So it's pretty much an easy, like, tank and spank sort of thing with this one. The only thing that's kind of difficult that I found that kind of gave me a problem was that in the middle of the fight, every so often, he will start, like, spinning or, like, driving around, like, the outer edge of the arena that you're fighting him in. And then there's this thing in the middle that you have to destroy, and you are getting hit continuously with rockets, and you have to, like, I don't know, survive. What I was able to do, though, is I was able to pop Alternate Destiny whenever that happened, and I can attack the little middle things you're supposed to attack, and then for whatever reason, I gain health back. Maybe it's because Ling Han is attacking the monster that's going around, or maybe hitting the thing in the middle is giving me health back as well. I'm not exactly sure, but if you know, down in the comments, let me know. For whatever reason, though, I was staying alive. The first time that I did it, that absolutely destroyed me, completely wrecked my health, and the second time that I did it, I died. I think I died at like the very end. Like, my health was too low and I couldn't get back any heals, so then I had to manage my heals a little bit more properly with Fiona as far as using my discharges at the right time, and I was able to just bounce discharges off and just keep my dodge skills up with Fiona. And listen, that last time I did it, this is the time that you're watching, it was actually really, really easy, and it became like a really fun fight once I really figured out how to do it. And it's all just about managing heals, because the only healer that I have is Fiona, and Fiona is, for me, okay for the heals. I have my Fiona a 3, and my attack, I guess, isn't the best, and this is like the highest level of joint op that I can do, and I'm doing it solo. These things are meant to be done with people because it's a joint operation you're supposed to do with people, so I really feel like this build is great doing it solo. What's really cool about Ling Han that I really like for this is that it does like boost your damage. Like it boosts final damage when you use her discharge skill. So you use a discharge skill, and when that tiger comes out, you know that your damage boosted. I'm not exactly sure how long your damage boosted for, but you do have boosted damage, and that is my time to switch to Meryl and do some serious damage and just hammer this thing. You can break its shield down because it has Meryl has really good shatter. I think let's see what Meryl's shatter is actually. Okay, Meryl has a 13.80 shatter, so she has a really, really good shatter. And then just Ling Han in conjunction with Meryl, you get that ice resonance bonus, and it's just a really good time. So, like, yeah, the first advancement of Meryl, it says increase shatter by 15% and restore 10% of HP after shattering target shield, which is really good. And then I have an A2, I have A1 of Ling Han, and the A1 Ling Han, it just basically says, after launching Frost Blaze, the Wanderer's Frost attack is increased by 10%, and nearby targets will be dealt damage equal to 80% of attack every second 30 seconds. So, I mean, I can't really stop saying enough good things about Ling Han. I believe that they put this unit in the game for a reason to like push sales, and it's so good because the damage is so great. And it's like not all weapons are super good when they come to the game. Like Face It, I don't think Face It was super good, or at least it wasn't super free to play friendly, but I believe that Ling Han is super free to play friendly. And in conjunction with any other Frost weapon, I mean, you don't necessarily have to use Meryl to do this. I know Meryl is a tank weapon, so the damage on Meryl is not like optimal. And of course, I'm in balance roll, so if I was in like attack resonance, I'd probably be doing a lot more damage. So maybe using a Ling Han in Yulan and maybe a martial arts form, or maybe Ling Han with, I can't think of its name, Icarus. Ling Han with Icarus. Using Ling Han with Icarus might be a better target, or a better like a build too for damage wise, because Icarus does a lot of damage and he has that discharge skill that kind of stays stationary, but it's not really too good with this boss. What was really cool about this too, using Meryl, because Meryl, her discharge, she like slams the ground and creates like this barrier, like this ice wall that enemies just can't penetrate. They can't get around it. So whenever I would activate that Fantasia, and the Fantasia, oh my gosh, the Fantasia is so good in this game, and it's such a useful like tool when fighting bosses, because you slow them down and you're able to do something. You got a discharge. So I was definitely like looking for ways to slip that Fantasia in there, getting those dodge skills, especially with Fiona, right? Because Fiona, when you dodge with her, you get heals back. So it's like a like plus thing. Like you dodge to get your heals back with Fiona, and then you can probably trigger the Fantasia if you time it right. And I just love doing a dodge skill with Meryl because her animations, I mean, I just can't say enough about it. I love the animations of Meryl. I think they need to get back to like more basic weapons. I like that Ling Han is like a rapier because I love swords in games like this. I love giant two-handed swords in games like this, and I just think it's a really cool weapon. So I don't know, man, try this build for yourself, and if you have any suggestions about this, let me know down in the comments like what you would do to this build as far as weapon chips to make this build a little bit better, or what other weapon you would substitute Meryl for to make this build do a little bit more damage. Alright, so I've rambled on long enough. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions about this or anything else Tower of Fantasy related, please don't hesitate to put it down in the comments and I'll try to answer you, or make a video and then credit you with the video and be like, hey, this guy asked me this question, so here is the answer to the question. Alright, I'll catch you guys next time. And oh yeah, follow me on TikTok, man. I'm posting a lot of stuff that I don't post on my YouTube channel for Tower of Fantasy over on TikTok, because I guess I'm like a partner with TikTok now, I guess. They sent me some emails. So definitely support me over on TikTok. I really would appreciate it. All right, guys. Thank you.